And we are back live at 5/7 Central from the Piranha Pond. Yeah, that's right. We is back in this piece, y'all. I know you missed us. You didn't X us off your Christmas list this.
You know what I'm saying? With the bars.
What's happening with it? Welcome to the pond. I am your illustrious host, Kingfish Mac, joined, as usual, not so usual for y'all, by the piranhas in the pond.
What up?
What's happening, y'all? My brother from another mother. To the left of me, always the best of me, my brother, Mr. Frankly Nunn Flyer. What's happening with your baby boy?
What up, people? Happy to be back in these young warm waters, ready to give y'all what y'all need.
I know that's right. And y'all know who brightens up the pond, brings all the bling bling up around this bad boy, my beautiful cousin, Miss Nick Mo. What's up,
Hey
y'all?
everybody, we missed y'all. What's up?
Oh man, it's been a whole bunch of stuff in the news. We've been missing shit. We're gonna try to catch folks up on what we've been missing out on. Speaking on a couple of stories that we missed, a couple of things that's been happening in the news as of late. Um, Top story. You guys know what's been going on over in the Ukraine with Russia, quote unquote, um, invading the country, or as they would put it, on a peacekeeping mission. So relations between the United States and Russia is not at an all-time high right now, and uh, what we are learning has transpired prior to the invasion over there, if you want to call it, is that your girl Britney Griner got gaffled up over there. If you guys don't know who Britney Griner is a seven-time All-Star with the Phoenix Mercury of the WNBA, two-time Olympic gold medalist, and she was arrested back in February uh, in Russia in the airport. She plays basketball over there in the off season. Probably makes four times as much money as she makes uh, over here in the WNBA. But she was arrested either getting on or getting off a plane. She has some cannabis vape cartridges in her luggage or in her carry-on bag. They gobbled her up. Now she's looking at
10,
up to
at
10
least.
years in the gulag. Of course, you guys know the United States is, especially the United States media, are kind of utilizing her arrest as a sympathetic uh, type of thing against the war. She's being held as a bargaining chip, this, that, and the third. Question for the piranhas today is this. When in Rome, do you do as the Romans, or are you able to do what the fuck you want to do because you're American? Should Britney Griner have been arrested? Did she break a law? What should the penalty be? Is it too rough? And is she being used as a political pawn in all this shit that's going on with the United States and Russia through its proxies? Holler at me, piranhas.
Well,
1 second.
go ahead, Frank.
No.
Okay.
So I need a
Well,
second.
hmm. See, I don't want it to be a situation to where they actually like this girl just gets tortured, because we already know how old school shit go in Russia. We know, Putin is gonna use her I ain't even so much as a bargaining chip, but again, I feel like it's gonna be way better before it get better for her. That's one way I view it. At the same time, the young man in Japan that was in high school that went over to one of them, Japan or somewhere, and they stole that
Singapore.
equipment. They gave him them fucking lashes, and his fucking paw or the U.S. ain't say nothing about it. They let him get them lashes because
Told
it
them
was the
take that
culture
shit.
there. You don't go
Right.
over there. You don't fucking steal. Because other than that, they was gonna kill him. So he took them fucking bamboo lashes. Now, now trust me, I'm not trying to do 10 years in jail. So I probably would have just smoked there and then try to bring it back. So but what I'm saying is that if anybody would have remembered that young boy and what happened to him, what the fuck made it so different? So no, do I want
Right.
to see her go to jail for nothing like that? No, but I texted a good friend earlier who does a lot of international travel, and he was like, I try to make it my business to be up on the culture, on how they do things there, because after all, you're in that country. See, we as Americans go over there and fucking cry wolf too much when we want to come home. But truth be told, you didn't want to hold the motherfuckers accountable at home for paying you enough money, so that's why the fuck you went there. So you can't have
Mm-hmm.
it both ways. If you're gonna go there and make that good fucking money, then at least do what you need to do to get home. It had been a couple of weeks that Putin was fucking threatening war. So you waited till it was at the all-time worst fucking time ever to
To get
actually,
caught up.
and on top of that, because I mean, I don't know if she thought it for herself, but you are a high-profile American trying to get home in these times, and especially
Right.
when your president is putting sanctions on them. So it might not have been that smart to put them in the luggage. Period. I would have looked for every American to damn near get fucking strip search coming out of anywhere that got to do with Russia right now. Because what if all intents purposes you could have put the shit in the carry on and you could have got home. And you could have checked your bag and you probably would have been okay. They probably was going through the check bag. So going through the check bag, going through the carry-ons. I mean, you have to at this point, you have to go to the airport expecting the fucking worst. You better go there a day early. You need to expect to be detained, probably again strip search, questioned, probably harassed for fucking hours. I would only expect that would be their treatment to us. And then on top of that, we fucking black.
Right.
I I'm gonna start my part of this off by saying free Britney Griner. Okay. A. B. Yeah, man. Should have been more careful. You know what I'm saying? You got it, man. Aside from the whole war shit, motherfuckers be Americans, I should say, or at least I would assume. I don't know, cause but get way too comfortable with our laws out here and think we can just go do that shit
Wait,
any and everywhere. You know what I'm
way
saying? And
too
that ain't
comfortable.
how that shit go. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
not how it
And
happens.
she should know better because she been traveling throughout these worlds
She
way
ain't
more
new to
than
the
I have.
game.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, at that point, and that's just the situation side. The situation with it being low key war out there, uh, you shouldn't have been out there anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'd have booked the first thing back. Soon as,
Granted, I think she had been out there. She had been out there for a while, but
yeah. Oh well,
granted,
yeah,
now it's time to
yeah,
try
yeah,
to come
yeah.
home. And
Cause she
I'm just
play
saying,
out there. Yeah, I'd have
yeah,
left all that shit.
I ain't mad. You've been out there for a while. You're making your money. You're doing what you gotta do. But again, too many people just get lax. And no, it's not the same. You're not even trying to lose your passport when you go overseas.
Right.
You
And ain't
know,
no telling what the
so
hell they gonna do to
so
you.
that's what I'm saying. So as much as a passport could fucking mean to anybody, imagine trying to bring some fucking contraband. I'm sorry, me personally, I've seen at least two movies I could spit off my tongue that it did not go well for people who went overseas and tried to bring it back by mistake or somebody dropped it in their fucking bag. It did not go well for them. So again, I mean, you got to be careful what you do. You have to respect people and their laws. You got to realize the times that we're in right now, and man, I don't want
Man,
to see. I don't want to see her hurt. I don't want to see her tortured. Because that's my thing. I think they gonna hurt that girl,
nah.
and I hate to see that, and stuff like that. And but again, like I said, hey, that young man that took them fucking lashes on the back, he took them.
I, I believe, yeah, she should have mapped that trip out a whole lot better. I'd have left Russia dry and stopped off in Amsterdam or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't have fucked around and took that chance at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even kind of fucking around with Russia. Or anywhere
Oh
out there
no,
like
I
that.
agree with you. That's why I said that given these times that she it probably wasn't smart to do it. Not that we had to bring a fucking war. She probably was going back and forth for how long doing it. Yes, I do agree with that. Not mad at her, but you got to know when not to be so dumb.
Man, you got to map that shit out a little bit better. But I don't believe they go torture her or no shit like that because it ain't that type of thing. I just think they gonna make it hella hard, try to push some issues with her, man. And when all that shit don't work, they gonna end up letting her shit go, let her ass go anyway.
I mean, I
Like,
hope so. They got media people that's probably more important than her. Then
yeah, no, I
they,
believe they
they
know
ain't
better.
making it back all the time. So
Well,
I do
baby.
hope to make it back.
Hey, that's the same thing. Hey, what's up, Tony Todd? That's the exact same thing that I was about to say. What Toad said. First of all, I think that there was probably with her. I'm just getting inside her mind a level of comfortability where she wasn't even tripping off them little couple of little vape cartridges or whatever, right? And that level of comfortability comes from number one, we are becoming a lot more progressive in our state laws when it comes to cannabis, not so much the federal laws, right? And so people kind of, have the inclination to kind of think of like, cannabis products. That shit ain't really no drugs. We smoke all day, every day, and some more shit is kind of like the background music to our lives.
I
When
would have
you
to believe
when
that
when you move when
everything
you
that's
move
going
over
on, somebody warned them. Please. I can't see
when you
coaches or nobody not saying something that, hey,
when you
it's extra tight right now.
when you move over to you still doing your same thing somewhere else. You take with you your same habits, especially if you don't consider them habits, right? And I don't know what the availability is or isn't over where she was posted up playing ball, but like Toad said, I think, and I watched the video when she was coming out the airport or whatever and shit, right? It seemed as though she was very, very comfortable. She was signing autographs and some more shit, right? Like she
Mhm.
didn't have a thought in the world about what the fuck was in her bag. Telling people was like, check this here, homegirl. Uh, Step over to the side, right? We need to
Right.
do this. We need to do this cavity search around this bad boy. Make
Right,
sure you ain't holding, right?
All of a
Ain't
sudden,
nobody
he
talking
like,
about that part
what?
though. Right?
right, right.
He got she got hit with some shit she had to accept real quick, real soon. Cause
Yeah,
no
and
matter what, you was going over to the left, and it was gonna be some shit. Gonna be some shit.
right. So while I'm on the free Britney train, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe as a nigga who actually had to go walk off some penitentiary time for fucking cannabis and had to walk their ass all the way back in the courts, right, to get my shit reversed. I don't never want to hear about a motherfucker being locked up, arrested, harassed,
Not because of the
stopped,
culture.
none of that shit. I look,
Not
I'm
because of the
so
culture.
I'm so pro culture that you know how you be somewhere, you come in off, you just finished blowing one or whatever, taking a little break, and you come inside and move, dog, and the motherfucker start with that funny shit like, mm, smells like weed in here. Who is that? I'm quick to be like, it's me, bitch, right here. Yeah,
Hey, Kush was my
You gonna have
cologne,
to
my
wonder
nigga.
who it
that's my
is,
Hey,
right?
cologne, right?
Kush was my
Hold the
cologne for the longest
right.
until my job started tripping on nigga. Now I got to spritz up. I got that OG baby Coach
You
Black
should
one
go
time. That shit
straight there
smelled
with the
good too.
job selling just like
But
that. For real.
man, I'm in a warehouse. I thought I'd get away with it until I up jumped my motherfucking my status and became a motherfucking lead. Now they on my helmet. Like I can't even just take them breaks like that no more. But yeah, not for the culture though. Not for the
So
culture
that
at all.
so that being said, right? Me saying that I don't want anybody to be gaffled up, for anything cannabis related. I
Right.
also have to respect, that them people's laws is them people's laws. We don't even know what their laws are, right?
Right.
Mm.
We all up in air because of what
You
our
think it's
laws
gonna be
are,
bad,
right?
right?
Like
Right.
like like we kind of on some shit like 10 years for some weed shit. Didn't nobody say fuck when I got fucking 28 months for no weed shit, right? Because I wasn't famous enough. But you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers
Right.
like, damn, you go to the penitentiary for weed, for some
Right.
fucking vapes? That's some bullshit. And 10 years on top of it, right? That's
Right.
kind of what we reacting to. But shit, that might be some cut your hands off in some other
No,
countries type
Right.
shit.
Fuck
You
around
feel
in
yeah,
what I'm
I'm
saying?
Bangladesh.
saying that. I'm saying that. That's
Yeah,
what, yeah.
yeah.
Like,
So we got an obligation
hey,
when we
just
over there, like Shell said, you over there getting them people's good money. You got to follow their good ass laws, whether you think they're
Mm-hmm.
good or not.
right.
And when you get caught up, shit, you got to fucking pay the price, man. I didn't pay so
Sometimes you
many
gotta take
motherfucking.
L.
Look, I didn't pay it off so many tickets and shit, right? I ain't got no whole bunch of sympathy for a motherfucker who was crying, poor me when it's time for you too. Like, nigga, you got caught. You knew the job was dangerous when you took it, right? They had me walk off that 124 motherfucking months. Guess what? I had to walk that bitch, right? Wasn't nobody doing no protests. United Nations wasn't outside. The UN,
Hey,
no
my nigga.
motherfucking body, right?
I
Hey.
wish
Nigga, they
I
was
wasn't
like,
your
nigga,
Hey.
teeth. I would have
Hey.
protested
I was
for
about
you
to say,
every
nigga, I'd have
day.
called their ass too. Unfortunately, nigga, I was
I
in
would have
prison my
moved to
goddamn self.
California just to protest for you every fucking day. I would have did that
Nigga, me
shit.
too. We'd have
Swear
led the
to
what?
fight,
God.
my nigga.
I'd have been
But
all with gray hair still holding it up for keeps.
hey, we'd have led the fight, my nigga. But I was locked up too, so I don't know what to tell you.
That's only because I know who loved me. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? But
right,
the rest
right,
of these
right.
motherfuckers, shit, that look, I always tell Frank this, right? And I might have said this on the podcast in one of my heated moments. Like I'm literally, me and Frank both together, right? We are literally citizens, right? We don't commit no fucking crimes at all and shit, right? Like I do a podcast for a living. However, we are the only group, we are members of the only, and I mean the absolute only group in America that you can legally discriminate against in job hiring and housing. We're ex-convicts. Like they literally put the fucking shit on the application and can make a determination based upon some shit I did 10 years ago, right?
Man.
Like literally. So from that perspective, man, look, I ain't got no whole bunch of fucking bail for a motherfucker who ain't willing to pay that price when I've been having to pay it all my goddamn life.
Without the money that motherfuckers is dealing with, like they
You
dealing
feel
with.
what I'm saying? So, you fuck up, go walk off your days, man. You ain't getting no options. Like all nowadays you got options, right? Like these new criminals, right? They get caught with some shit that's all about me. Fuck that. I'll throw three motherfuckers under the bus. My mama, my granny, and the white lady that live across the street to get out of custody, right? Niggas don't give a fuck, right? Ain't no loyalty, ain't no code in the streets,
Your
none of
mama,
that
your
shit,
neighbor,
right?
and a white woman across
Hey,
the street.
three and a
Damn,
half,
Man,
because one of them got a pet we can sacrifice too.
these
damn.
niggas don't give a fuck,
That's how they think, you
right?
know.
Right. Look, niggas start telling before they get arrested, right? niggas be on the internet telling on each other and themselves, right?
Mm.
So
Niggas in
Right
the
quick.
street.
And if they don't tell on themselves, the internet go show help the police figure that shit out.
Because the internet is them new streets.
Man, they got them sleuths too.
so at this stage of the game, I'm like, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Always expecting that a motherfucker that gets caught doing the crime ain't gonna be able to do the time, right?
Right.
Right.
So
Right.
we already got. Look, this shit is in the national news, right? They already talking about her as though she's some kind of fucking ambassador that's being held hostage. Like, no, bitch, you're a criminal, right? Like for real,
Eh, eh,
on some real shit. And hey, what is all this crying for? Shut the fuck up. You know, maybe they'll fucking cut you some slack, give you some probation, and get the fuck out of Russia. But right now, all that diplomatic shit ain't doing nothing but hurting you, right? You might have been able to slide under as just an American citizen with a fucking work
Michael
visa who
fucking
got
face.
caught. Guess what? I've been to the penitentiary. I seen Russians, Cubans, Colombians, Mexicans that don't speak no fucking English, real Mexicans. I seen all them motherfuckers in the penitentiary for committing crimes in America. And when they finish doing their time, then they got to
They
go
get their
to the
ass kicked
fucking
out.
INS holding tank
Yeah.
to get kicked the fuck out of the country. So
Right.
I'm not trying to hear that shit, man. I just don't have a
See,
whole lot of sympathy for the whole shit.
and here's my whole shit. Like I was just about, I was thinking, if it wasn't the political climate that it's in now, if it wasn't all the hoorah about the invasion or whatever, um, this wouldn't even be making big news like that. They probably wouldn't
Nope.
even. They probably would have just mentioned it and went right past that shit.
They'd have gave her ass a
But
slap. Like you out there, you a big star out there and shit, right? Like you
right,
literally are a
she probably could
celebrity
have
out
paid
there.
her way out of
You
that
could
shit.
you could have paid your way out of that.
Right, right.
But
But because of the
because
climate,
it
right,
became an international incident. Remember, this shit happened a month ago.
right. But
She
that's what
was
I'm about to say
arrested in
too.
early February. Her ass been in custody.
My
We
whole shit
just
about that
finding
is,
out about it.
yeah, because they trying to use that shit as political fodder to, burn us out on our dough so they can be rich in this war. But my thing about that is too, I'm anti-prison in whatever motherfucking country you in, and you black too. Man, let her ass go, nigga. Oh yeah, she a criminal. She did that shit. She got some dough. Let her pay for that shit and let her ass go. Quit acting like that, Russia. Come on, man. We cool.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
again,
You ain't gotta act like that. You know what I'm saying?
thinking back on Michael Faye, this shit actually happened. It had actually happened in Singapore. So that they laws ain't therefore off.
Right.
His 6 strokes of a cane actually still included another 4 months jail time. So again, we're gonna be hoping for the best for this sister, but he was a high school student and they fucking caned his ass 6 times and gave him a prison sentence. So
Nigga, free Britney.
just saying,
You know what I'm saying?
I know we be
I mean, I ain't gonna protest or
just
nothing,
saying,
but free Britney.
you
But
know,
free Britney, nigga.
they,
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, because
Next.
they consider stuff they consider stuff really crimes over there. And of course, with all this going on too, it didn't help. You know, I'll be interested to see how this case gonna turn out. I just
I think she'll
hate
be
this
alright.
bad because
I think she'll
you
be
say it
alright.
because it's not fucking you. It's not you. It's easy for
No, I
how you
mean,
gonna be all right. You
no,
gonna
she'll
be
be alright
good.
in the fact that I'm saying in the fact that she, I'm quite possibly, at least I hope, with all the motherfucking great energy I got, that she gonna live through the shit. That's all I'm
But
saying.
what if she? But what if she ain't being good now? Like we was begging the tennis chick to blink 5 times if she wasn't being held captive because she didn't
Oh,
feel the fuck out of the.
oh,
I'm just saying, but that's in the same type of country. Then she a woman, and then she a woman that's gay. So you don't know how they gonna be trying to treat that shit. You know.
I'm I'm just saying. I hope she lived through the shit. I'm pretty sure.
I hope she do.
With all the energy, good
I
energy that I got, I hope she lived through the shit. She'll be all right.
hmm
Free Britney, my nigga.
Yep.
Right.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Next subject. While we go to the next subject, Frank, check your DMs.
All right.
So this is from all my hip hop heads out there. Shout out to Dick Nass too, man. I wanted to send a shout out to him. I don't know what happened to him. He was in the group text with us a little bit earlier. I thought he was going to link up, but apparently he must be having some Wi-Fi problems. But this story is for my boy Nick Nass. So, for those of you that are hip hop heads from at least 10 years ago, Slaughterhouse is a super rap group, a rap super group consisting of Royce the 5'9", Joel Ortiz, Krooked I, and my boy Joe Budden. At some point, after they had dropped, I want to say 2 albums, but I know at least 1 album. At some point, they were signed to Shady Aftermath.
All right.
There was a
Eminem.
big falling out between basically Joe and Peter Rosenberg, who is the managing business partner for Shady Aftermath, about the terms of the deal. Mind you, this was 10 years ago. I say mind you because we have to keep in the context what we know to be true about Joe Budden's behind the scene knowledge of this fucking industry on every level, whether it be the music industry, the podcast industry, print, radio. The boy knows how the numbers work and he knows what is a fair deal and what isn't. Joe is famous for turning down big money deals that any one of us would take simply because those numbers make your eyeballs bust out. But he's always seemed to come out on top, you know, after making what would seem to be a poor decision. Always turns out to be good. At that time, basically the business wasn't correct. Joe didn't want to go in the studio. Royce the 5'9" felt like there is no Slaughterhouse without all four of us. So if Joe is not coming in the studio, then I'm not coming in the studio. 10 years later, we don't have a project from Slaughterhouse, right? Everybody's kind of moved in their own direction, doing other shit. Joel Ortiz and Krooked I, who have released an album together before that was critically acclaimed, decided to do an album now entitled I think it's the Death of Slaughterhouse or the Destruction of Slaughterhouse, something like that, right? Basically, they are telling what they say is their truth about why the group hasn't been put back up.
The demise.
Right. Royce the 5'9" and Joe Budden feel some kind of way. And here, let me give you guys a little clip of one of the videos that's out, and you might be able to see why. Can you guys hear that?
No.
Here we go.
Yes. No.
Yes, no?
Camera
what?
speeding
Yes.
and action.
At the vacancy shoot, I was feeling the energy on another level. It's one thing to get in the booth and do what we do and rhyme and spit our truth over the music. But when you start reenacting your truth and the cameras being on and people, you know, you feel those people reactions while you're saying some of the realest shit you said in regards to the group, you don't know how people are going to take it. It's a different kind of thing.
Go wrong. We supposed to get this music shit for so long. Instead of so long, the house is vacant. Your mouse is making that podcast money, talking, found and flagrant.
Doing it
Shit, wow.
Wow, your house is vacant.
Your
Your mouse is making that podcast money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what ensued is a whole bunch of back and forth Instagram live with Joe and Joel and I think Royce was on one. These niggas being on some real other shit. Joe telling nigga to suck his dick, right? Some more shit. So at this stage of the game, we're looking at basically Krooked I saying he don't want nothing else to do with the name Slaughterhouse. But shit, basically nobody could really do anything with it, but everybody could do everything with it.
Right.
My question for you,
Sort of like how the pond would be.
Exactly. And this is why I thought that this was an interesting scenario for us to talk about, because we already got a solution for all that shit. But just in terms of where does a very popular and money-making venture go when it's a partnership and the partners grow in different directions? And more importantly, is who's right and who's wrong in this situation with Slaughterhouse.
And I think it's where you are individually on how you see the dream. Because obviously Joe Budden wasn't sold on what it was, but to them, the other members who wanted it, it was a dream. So I guess it depends on where you are in the dream process. Like, you know, can you afford to be comfortable turning it down? Obviously Joe was. And again, he has proven to make those type of calls and have continuously been okay. And the brother definitely, if one didn't work, one eye didn't work out. He, like you said, he kind of was a jack of all trades. He had his hand dabbed in a little bit of the total pot, you know. But again, you know, I mean, how many people are normally in the group that diversified? Usually it's 4 or 5 different walks of life, depending on where you are in your walk of life and where you are. You know, again, you know, like you might see $1 million as a dream. I might be like, nah, that's fucking killers and bits. Almost like in King Richard when they came in with their first fucking deal. You know, looked like they kind of was like side-eyed, like, when she takes this deal, we ain't really gonna be mad about it. You know, we gonna see. You know, if she take it, it's enough to be comfortable and be okay. And she was like, nah, send that shit back tonight.
Dope ass movie, by the way.
You know, but what I'm saying is that, you know, it depends on where comfortable you are in your walk and how you see the dream.
Yeah.
That might be something to talk about, you know, especially as a group, to like, hey y'all, if we ever get a deal, we not taking less than this number, you know, and like we all agreed on that. And again, like I said, it's where you are in that point in your life, but realistically, we talked about it. We probably put it on paper and was like, okay, we're not going, and I say sell out for lack of a better phrase, but we're not going to sell out for less than this because we all for bringing a piece of the fucking pie. You know, like he said, you know, we pretty much had talked about our shit, you know, and most times we like minds think alike anyway, but again, you know, and then it's one of the situations to like, yeah, nobody can use it individually, but everybody can fucking use it together.
See, my thing about that would be, if you're not with it, and if it's a shareholder kind of thing, nigga, then buy me out, man. I get out your way. I mean, if you don't want to be with it, or you know what I mean, like, don't just hold the progress up. If motherfuckers is trying to push the issue forward, and you're not with that issue, or you're not with that vision, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about now. I'm talking
Yeah, I
about
mean, well, yeah, it's
now. You
different
see what I'm
now.
saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say they
Everybody
more
went on their own
people
different
together.
ways. So if we can't come to an understanding on what we go do with the whatever the hell that is,
Right,
then you know, like I said, if it's a thing about share or money or you know what I'm saying, some shit like that that I can't just walk away from on some, man, y'all can have this
right.
shit, I'm cool. Then you know, go ahead and buy me out, man, or you know what I mean, whatever the fuck. But don't hold up the progress. Don't be like, you know what I'm saying, we them niggas that's in the way that ain't gonna do nothing with it. So fuck it. You know, so I'm just saying, if it's something that you're trying to grow with, and it's motherfuckers that's not with it that's trying to grow with it, then let them go. And if you that nigga that ain't trying to grow with it, man, get out the way. You know what I
You know,
mean?
and I get it. You know, who wants to be the group that had over 10, 15 years of mixtapes in the vault, but because we could never come together on a fucking deal, none of it actually ever got distributed.
Right.
I totally get that too. If you know, because if that's the case, then hey. But again, you gotta be smart with that shit too. Because after the first fucking deal, if I didn't like it, I'd be like, so who wanna go do Slaughter P House? I'm just saying, for lack of a better name, you
Right.
know. Because at the same time, if I know I got skills, and I mean, we would have been greater together. But at the same time, I'm not gonna. I'm still
Right.
hungry.
I'm still great without y'all. We could
But
be
you know,
greater,
Bun
but I'm
Bun
still
still
great.
had to fucking produce with Pimp being in jail. It didn't mean he sold him out, but fuck, people still needed to be fed. So if
Right.
they
Right.
let that slowly ride on those two, then shame on them. Because at some point you got to do your own thing.
Right.
See, I think I see it from both ways, kinda. Um, but then also, like you, you know, I watch these hours worth of fucking lives and shit, right, with these niggas talking, and I remember how the shit kind of
Played
went,
out. Mhm.
how it played out, and so now and with hindsight, I can understand shit a little bit better.
Right.
And I really got to side with Joe on this one. So what you got to understand is 10 years ago, right? This is before the Joe Budden podcast and all that shit was big and whatever, right? This nigga
Before
was a
Love and
rapper.
Hip Hop and all of that, right?
All that shit. This
All
nigga
that
was
shit.
a rapper. He was still trying to rap. Just had got fucked up by Wu-Tang. Remember, all that shit had just happened. And Joe was kind of like, you know, niggas was clowning because of the Pump It Up song. It was like, nigga, yeah, that shit rocks, but nigga, what else, right?
Right.
So boom, in comes Slaughterhouse. And they shit was banging. You got 4 grade A rappers. All 4 of these niggas got lyrics. For real, right? As mad as Joe be about shit all the time. So now it's come time to talk money, and boom, you know, they fall out with Shady because of Joe, right? But Joe is actually just on some, I'm tired of motherfuckers, white boys always sliding into nigga business and taking the lion's share of the bread. Fuck you and Eminem. He was on some shit like that. Remember, he went on a whole little shit. He did Eminem discs and all kind of shit, right? Joe was like on one. Remember, 50 was saying, oh, damn, well, you know, Joe is tripping because of, like, how do you diss the motherfucker that signs your check that, you know, signed you when nobody else was signed, all that bullshit. But what the fuck is this calling? So, but Joe was on his Joe shit. He's seen a bigger picture, right? Fast forward to, you know, 10 years later, Joe is big as fuck in the podcast space. Royce the 5'9" is still Royce the 5'9". That's the motherfucking gatekeeper to Eminem still, right? Because the other boy got killed. What was the other boy's name? Start with a P? Proof got killed. So Royce is the guy, you know what I'm saying? He's still fucking with M and doing whatever behind the scenes shit that he be doing. So he's doing his shit. Krooked I, remember, he was signed to Death Row and had all that fucking drama trying to get off Death Row, right? These niggas was talking about fucking him up, made fucking diss songs. Little, what's the little nigga that looked like Snoop? The top dog,
yeah,
and all that kind of. He went through all that shit, right? And fucking Joel Ortiz, we hear no more about. Like last time you heard about you say Joel Ortiz, you start thinking, is this nigga a member of Dip Squad? A Dipset, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really don't know.
Or a baseball player, nigga.
Right, so you got 2 motherfuckers that's still kind of moving, 2 motherfuckers that's kind of like, you know, stagnant, but they did drop an album a few years ago that did well. Niggas is not standing in the way of you getting money, but here's the thing. We doing the podcast, we doing the Piranha Pine and shit, right? Shell fucking has a whole family and shit, and she don't have no time to do podcasts no more, right? So she's doing her own shit, right? And we saying we can't do the podcast without Shell and Nick, the Pine. Then all of a sudden, 10 years later, me and Frank do the Piranha Pine, and all we doing is talking shit about Shell and Nick and how they made everything fucked up, this, that, and the third. Like, bro,
y'all had a bad 10 years, yeah.
and then on top of that, right? What we saying when Shell and Nick says, "Damn, that's fucked up. I'm hurt." I said, "Well, if you love me, support the project. Support the project that I'm dissing you on." This is what this nigga Joel Ortiz said to Joe. That's why Joe told him to suck his dick. Joe said, "Man, I love you. I wish you nothing but the best. You and your family prosperity." That nigga said, "If you love me, support the project and stop with this tripping." And nigga Joe says, "Support, nigga, suck my dick, nigga." I was like, whoa.
See, again, they on 2 different sides of the dream.
Way 2 different sides, right?
But wait, though.
He want to say fuck you, but he's still trying to get paid off you. And Joe like, bitch, fuck you. I got 5 shows.
Joe still saying, look. Joe still saying, nigga, I ain't talking about no lawsuit suing you, trying to cease and desist, nigga. Get your money. Right. I'm just saying out loud that it's just nasty as a motherfucker. Like, nigga, I love you, but nigga, you would, damn, this is what you would do for a bag? Right. Come on, homie, I'd have thrown you that bag.
So
you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
from the way you saying it went down, I'd have rolled with Joe from the gate because he'd be like, "Nigga, I'm tired of these white motherfuckers fucking with us taking the line shot." I'd be like, you know what? You're right. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what happened in that
Fuck all
scenario?
that. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't telling the whole story. So Joe in Shady Aftermath was it wasn't no deal happening.
Mm-hmm.
Krooked I went and procured a deal, right? Came back and said something, $100,000. Joe said, "What are they paying us $100,000 for?" Which started all the big argument, like nigga, whoop whoop. But Joe was saying, "Bro, you ain't telling me nothing about ownership, nothing." This motherfucker's like, "It's ownership in the package. Ownership is part of the deal." He's like, "What the fuck you mean ownership is part of the deal? If I'm unsigned, I own my shit. I am the owner. What the fuck are you talking about? Any deal requires me to give you a part of ownership, not you to give me a part of my own shit, motherfucker. Are you crazy?
Right.
For 100,000, get the fuck out of here." Remember,
Right.
Joe done got 300,000 from Def Jam and wouldn't fuck that off, right? That nigga knows what the advance money is. That nigga still owe Lear Cohen and them. That nigga got out of the deal. Fuck y'all. I ain't putting no more music out. And y'all burnt on whatever the fuck y'all needed to recoup. Joe, don't be playing with these bitches.
I'm not paying y'all. Fuck y'all. I know I got all these billions. I know I could pay y'all, but I'm not gonna pay y'all.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, for 100,000, that shit is absurd.
Be rid of.
Just like your girl at Cardi B. Yeah, I know that wasn't true, but I figured she could afford it.
Right.
Fuck it.
Right.
She can afford therapy.
Right.
Right.
Bitch, now you can afford therapy. I'm gonna damn sure get therapy with the money that the court is.
See that one day, but fuck it, I was mad at the time.
I'm gonna damn sure buy me some therapy with the money I just won off your dog ass. How about that?
Right.
High fucking Larry and high jinx.
But yeah, even in that fact though, $100,000 is some bullshit. And like you were saying, nigga, why in the fuck would I sell myself for $100,000? But we can do that out the trunk, nigga.
Because they was gonna be selling it.
We can do that shit out the trunk.
A 15 record deal or some shit that you still be trying to make songs for the day. Like,
yeah, we could have did that out the trunk, so I wouldn't have been with that shit either though. Either way it go, because especially when you put it in the context of, nigga, I own my shit. Why, nigga, y'all ain't talk to me about nothing, nigga. Wasn't no practice. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, fuck all that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But I mean, I understand Krooked I try to put on for the team, but he can't be mad when the team ain't backing the player. Players stupid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
what'd you say, Frank?
No, I'm saying that just didn't make no sense. And then niggas want to be mad about it because niggas could have made them a whole lot more money. But y'all choose to be mad or cry about it. Now y'all ain't as successful as y'all could have been if y'all just followed the play, nigga. Followed the
but
audible.
I can't believe he had the audacity to say that. Because I would have just said, man, nigga, fuck you. I'm going to do my own thing. You do your own thing. That's what you've been doing all these years. But for me to say, oh, well, if you really, if you really want to help me support the project, I'm going to support your record that's totally dedicated to fucking dissing me.
Yeah, nah, from that part, yeah, from that aspect, nigga, I wouldn't even ask for no shit like that. I'd just be like, man, I wouldn't even.
Like, Lord,
at that point, I'm pissed. So I wouldn't even held a meeting with the nigga. At that point, I'd be like, man, fuck that nigga and everything you stand for.
The nigga Joel, you can tell that Joel, you can tell Joel Ortiz is a little salty about the way that the last 2 years has treated him versus Joe. Because, like I said, you know, second line of the motherfucking song and shit, right? You know, Lil Mouse getting that podcast money, whatever. And then the nigga told Joe, nigga, you niggas is just mad, and nigga, the only reason why you even said anything publicly is for clout. And I said to myself, this nigga Joe got like 1.5 million subscribers. Like, nigga, I gotta Google Joel Ortiz. What the fuck you talking about, clout, nigga? What are
you doing your shit for clout?
What are you talking about?
Right. It would appear you need it.
But that's what I'm saying, nigga. I'd have died on that sword, nigga. You wouldn't. I wish the fuck you would have ever caught me on tape talking about one, nigga. Support the project, then, nigga. You shoot a nigga like 100 times, nigga. If I'm pissed, nigga. Petty gang in the building, nigga. I'd have dissed that nigga and meant every word of it, nigga, and through my own buzz, nigga. I'd have been like a motherfucking Paul brother and just throwing all types of outlandish shit out there to get my own clout. Fuck that. Make that nigga say something to me. You know what I mean? Because at that point, I'm in. You know what I mean? I'm in. I'm not finna talk to this nigga about nothing at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we at it.
It
We
did feel
at
like
it,
a
nigga.
different move, like
Get at me on wax then, you old bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Create some buzz, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Say something back, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been all on that nigga like how they was in man of state, head of state. Every time the motherfuckers got on there with that nigga, hit me with a debate. Hit us with a debate. Nigga, I'd have been on that nigga helmet. Like, say something then, you bitch ass nigga, old toilet bowl licking ass nigga. Like, I'd have been on this helmet.
The cold thing about it is that the whole slaughterhouse debacle from back in the days was what caused Joe to retire from rap the first time and kind of go into the podcast space.
Yeah,
Remember, he didn't come back out to try to rap again until the young boy Hollow the Don called him out and shit and they did that pay-per-view shit, which was whack as fuck. I was like, Joe, do you not understand what battle rap is about? Like, dude, you telling the crowd you ain't gonna rap until they be quiet. Bro, that don't work, nigga.
But
Nigga, this is battle rap, nigga.
You just gotta start rapping, right?
Nigga, you got 30 by the kid, man.
and all of that would have been in my arsenal as I'm dissing this nigga with my petty ass, nigga.
You said, do you guys know what battle rap is?
Nigga, all of that have been in my arsenal, nigga, with my petty ass, nigga.
But that's what he is. But that's what Joe is. He's so far. He was so even at that point he was so far removed from it that his struggle wasn't a struggle anymore.
Perhaps.
Anymore.
I mean, you know, he got on that sword. That's cute.
That nigga was he was a love and hip hopper trying to show that he still had fucking bars.
You know, somebody say you don't have my problem.
These kids can't fuck with me.
You know, you don't have my problem.
All right.
I don't have your
then
problem.
The nigga can't
relate. I don't have your problem. Like
then Joe came out the next year and dropped 3 back-to-back disses against Drake, trying to get up in the Meek Mill space. No, nigga, Drake didn't even respond.
Never heard about it.
Again, all that would have been ammo as I'm dissing this motherfucking ass with my petty ass. Nigga, I wish the fuck I would have been talking about some support my project, nigga. I'd have poked the shit out that nigga.
He thought this shit was gonna be like that Pusha T shit, huh?
It was right about that time too.
I'd have poked the shit out that bear.
It was gonna be like that. No, it wasn't like that.
I'd have poked the shit out that bear, bro. I'd have had that nigga mad at me.
One of them causes, he lost.
I thought it was hella good marketing because it took me from the Breakfast Club to the Joe Budden podcast. That was right about the time I started watching this nigga.
I couldn't what
so the fuck is Joe doing? Oh, this nigga got a whole podcast and it's kind of good too. This nigga be talking this shit. Nigga be saying all the shit that the motherfuckers don't want you to know about.
I really didn't get up on the podcast. He was about to square off with the Migos at the young Get Down, and they was talking to him, and then they was like, "Man, fuck this interview. Y'all niggas stupid on some lame shit or some shit." And they was about to square off with the niggas. The people grabbed him up. Nigga grabbed the Migos up and pushed Joe back and shit. I was like, "Oh, nigga, that was cute." The Migos on there dressed like solid gold dancers and shit. That was dope.
I looked at all that shit like, you know, yeah, it happened, right? I'm not saying that Joe orchestrated that shit, but all those different little scenarios that he was in and the different little platforms that he was on, Everyday Struggle, the Revolt shit with Charlemagne, end of the year shit, the one little fucking little show with him, Remy Ma, what's the one boy's name? I can't remember the one boy's name. And then they had a couple of different chicks that came on there. They had the Ebony K. Williams chick was on there. It was the last one they went off. They had the one girl, damn, I can't remember her name, little chocolate cutie.
I remember the thing he did with Remy Ma, something like The Culture or something like that.
Right. State of the Culture. State of the Culture. So I believe that all of those different little plays, including Love and Hip Hop, were Joe always had it in his mind that all this shit drives traffic to the podcast. And the podcast is where I'm gonna get my money. They might give me just a little 2,500 here, there for these little episodes or whatever. This is no money. What I need to have is bargaining power with these white people that you never see in front of the camera. And I think he successfully did that, right? Joe's move with Spotify made Joe Rogan's deal possible.
Right.
Right? Because, you know, they offered Joe like 30 and he wouldn't take it. And then they turned around 2 months later and gave Joe Rogan 100.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that change your whole family's lifestyle kind of money.
Hey, yeah,
Right.
that's that shit. Hey, that's that shit where the only motherfucking reaction you can have is her reaction, nigga.
Right. Right.
Look, that's what you look. When
All
you
niggas be
fucking
like, yeah, I
home,
agree.
you
I
make
agree.
it to your bougie grocery store, so you big now. You went to the one in the hood, you had your kids with you. You was only just trying to go get this fucking loaf of bread and get the fuck out of there. You in the hood now. You ain't trying to be there, but you know it and and you can just go get this bread real quick. And
100 million I ain't in the hood, and none of my
and
people
100
ain't
people and 100
Nigga.
when you
We
walk
all
out there,
behind the gate.
you got fucking
behind the gate.
Nigga,
Yeah.
100 million.
100 tickets. We all behind the gate some fucking way.
Hey,
Right.
or on the island. I ain't fucking with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
But guess
gonna
what? He
buy
just
me an
had to
island
stop-
and that's
he
where we
just had
going.
to stop there and get that fucking bread.
No, that's where we go. We can visit the United States as a motherfucking vacation spot, but I'm gonna have all the best education and all the shit on my island. Nigga trades.
I mean, that's what happened to Young Dolph. If he didn't need them fucking cookies from that bakery every time he went home.
Nah, that was a different lifestyle though. That nigga was hood. I mean, it's
Well,
different
that's what I'm saying
aspirations
is
for
that
different folks.
you get. I mean, I sum that up to just being comfortable, like you said. You know, like.
But we can say the same thing about Nip though. You know what I'm saying? Niggas try to
We
better their
said that about
situations.
Nip. We did.
No,
We
but
said
that's what I'm saying.
We said he got
Motherfucker.
comfortable. The dude came. He told him get the fuck like he normally would tell somebody, and dude just kind of retaliated a little bit.
Yeah.
But
But what I'm saying is, in terms of motherfuckers trying to better the situations they in while they're in them, instead of trying to do them from afar, because that's what they're used to. That's what they are. They are hood, nigga. They are from where they come from. Like you can't
But it's
shake
proven
that
that you
shit.
can't have that much money. You can't have that much money and keep your one foot in the hood. It's been proven that you can't.
That's
Yeah,
not
it's
true.
purge going on. It's purge going on.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
been
true. I don't.
it's been proven that you can't straddle that fucking line no more.
I don't
After you
believe it's
get to a
what you
certain
do.
status with your fucking money, you can't straddle that line no more.
I don't believe it's what you do. It's how you do it. Like for instance,
And what
motherfucker
the
could have.
boy that just got killed recently, what you said that how comfortable was he rolling through the hood? He hanging in the hood where he, we was talking about that kid, somebody out there recently got killed, and you was like, well, how comfortable was he to feel like he could be that big and just roll down the street like that?
Yeah, no, I understand this. I'm a firm believer in protecting yourself at all costs. Boxer, man, I have to train it. But my point is, you can do that from within the hood. You just can't be as free as you think you can be because you're the man. Like my man Keith said, we'd all be behind the gate somewhere. Nigga might be on the out fringes of the hood, but I'd have plenty of money in the hood in terms of business and,
I most definitely
employing
have bread in the
motherfuckers. And if I
And-
ever do go through the hood like that, then it'll be on some, everything bulletproof, nigga. Nah, I ain't just gonna be hanging on no corners talking to nobody, nigga. I'm going to a
Okay, well, we talking
designation.
about something different. You talking about putting the hood on. I thought you
No,
talking about
I'm saying in terms of being in the hood though, like I said.
When you had $5 as opposed to having 5 million.
No, I'm there. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't just be out there hanging out like that.
Yeah, that's what we saying is that these are the times that you can't straddle one fucking foot no more.
But I still be present though.
Fucking talk about you gonna be in the Hollywood Hills or you gonna be in the fucking jungle. You're not gonna be in both.
Well, I mean, and then it's the whole point of self gentrification too.
I would be there, but not present.
But not right.
So what I mean is that I would have bread in the hood. If I had 100,
necessarily have to see you, right?
Nobody. It would be one motherfucker that seen me, or maybe 3. You know what I'm saying? But as far as me being, it's like a general. This motherfucker's never on the front lines. This nigga is way back in the Pentagon some fucking where. You know what I'm saying? Fucking strategizing and fucking meeting with fucking advisors and some more shit. Because this nigga is trying to take shit above and beyond the ground level fight. Now, the ground level fight is always necessary. Them soldiers is always there. They're always needed. And you always got to make sure that the soldiers are feel like they're a part of something that's bigger than them, right? Because who the fuck want to die for some shit?
For some bullshit.
To die. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you got to believe in something. So what I'm saying is that with 100 million, first of all, because the streets are what they are, right? And I'm not gonna fucking dilute myself into fucking thinking that it's something different. I'm gonna be out of target range, right? But I definitely would have one of my closest nigga that still want to be, you know what I'm saying, on point. That my Frank, you know what I'm saying? Frank want to be in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Doing good shit in the hood, presence felt, face seen, some more shit. Okay, nigga, I got 100 million. That's what you want to do, nigga? Okay, have the hood. Make sure that everybody know that this is us, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And me and you, Frank, we gonna strategize on what needs to be done. But a nigga that's doing it down there, that's fucking moving bricks and some more shit, and I don't mean cocaine, I mean like real bricks, building houses and shit.
Right.
That nigga don't need to be sitting up fucking drinking champagne and cognac with me and fucking sitting up in business meetings with me and whatever bankers or whoever the fuck I'm fucking with to make this shit happen. Nigga, just know that it's happening. Know that the big homie got y'all.
Right.
You know?
That's how it's supposed to be. But
that's how it's supposed to be.
That's how I would be. Like I said, nigga be on the fringes of the hood, but I mean, you know, I'd have to go ahead and make sure, because like I said, I have businesses and shit in them streets, and if I am in them streets in terms of being in the hood, it's to go take care of business. Because at that point, I'm around the world, nigga. I'm nigga, I ain't even in the state, nigga. I ain't even in the country. Like, so yeah, very rarely would they ever see me, because I wouldn't be that close. You know what I'm saying? Like, even at all. Not even hardly. Not even so.
Last subject, and this should be a doozy. It's an old subject from last week. We didn't do a podcast. I had it loaded up and ready to go, but we all ended up being on some different shit. Budden, however, your girl MEG Stallion and Tory Lanez and DJ Akademiks found themselves in a bit of a tiff maybe about 10 days ago. What up, Freeze? What happened was MEG or Tory was supposed to be going to court, pre-trial hearing, some kind of way or another. Akademiks was in the mix. Akademiks puts out a tweet, breaking news. None of Tory Lanez's DNA was found on the gun. Blah blah blah. Test came back. Blah 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 blah. MEG took exception to that. Tweeted some shit to the extent of how y'all know what's going on. Court ain't even started yet. Are you trying to tell me that his attorney is leaking court documents to the bloggers? Blah blah blah. That they go back and forth. Of course, MEG don't know Akademiks like we know Akademiks, right? Ak will get faded and go on Twitch and violate your ass, like for real. And MEG made what she probably wouldn't consider to be a mistake. And talking to women in my circumference, they took this to be that his feelings was hurt. But what she said was, she said Big Ak, because that's his little nickname that he calls himself in the chat, Big Ak. She's like, Big Ak, little boy, blah, 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 your little podcast, woo, woo. He took exception to that.
I would have too.
As a nigga that grinds this shit from the ground up, I would have too.
I would have too.
So, Ak's shit is this. What Akademiks does is he doesn't just insult you with a bunch of frivolous ass fucking bitch holes and, you know, your booty stinks or none of that. Ak is a fucking nerd. Ak is an information geek. Ak is a behind the scenes wizard when it comes to music, industry, information, and data. So Ak just goes to the numbers and converts the numbers into conversation. And Act's conversation is basically, how in the fuck is you the queen of anything? You ain't sold a motherfucking thing. You a peon. You begging motherfuckers to release music. You being used as a pawn by Rockefeller. Blah 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 blah. With the stats behind them. Of course, you can't win in that argument. I mean, you're in the mainstream nowadays, right? So the way that comes off is, black man is being toxic to a black woman. And then that becomes the conversation. So Act was trending for 3-4 days, disrespecting, in quotes, Megan Thee Stallion. Question for the Piranha Pond. This question actually was poised by Act himself. Is this: in the case of a major celebrity with a big platform, able to sway people's opinions, and you get into a digital beef with another platform holder or whatever, right? Where do you draw the line of fairness? And is it fair to make it a male versus female war, considering the temperature that we all kind of live in when we're talking about communications between black men and black women? Talk to me.
All right. Well, don't think I'm taking a feminist approach to it, because I'm really not. Because I hope my first line says it all. First of all, a gag order should have been in place. Nobody should have been that played on. Nobody should have been able to speak on it until after the trial. However, the first correspondence that I seen was him putting something out there accusing her of lying. Now, I'm not saying he started it, but I didn't see nothing. I only saw when she started reacting to what was putting out, and then party, he started reacting, and everybody else, it kind of became a free fall. So all I'm saying is that I feel that a gag order should have been put in place on it. I feel like nobody should have been able to, because nothing was gonna come good about them talking about it. They ain't been able to get it together or get it right since it fucking started. And especially, the crime that was being accused. So I feel like, again, no one should have been able to, it should have been something in place to where no party at this time was able to talk on that and what was going on in it, being such a high profile case and all like that. But again,
let me just say this right quick, just kind of in rebuttal. So it really was some real deliberate legal maneuvers that was put down, right? Like, because and we as the public have kind of been led to believe that, okay, there's a gag order in place. Well, MEG is not a part of the case. MEG is simply the complaining witness, right? She doesn't have a gag order. Quite matter of factly, the only person that's been talking about this, other than people like us, pundits in the media, but the only person who has actually came out and said anything about this case in the last year and a half has been MEG, and she's been very, very clear about.
But wasn't Tory the one that came out and said that you got the people hyped up, but just wait till they found out it wasn't true? What didn't he say that?
No, what happened was.
That's what I read.
Okay, so here, let me tell you what happened in chronological order. So, and then let me just throw this in. This is just my assumption based upon what Akademiks so we can see. Oh, my bad. My bad. Yeah. So what happened is, I believe that Akademiks was in the room with Tory Lanez and either his attorney or somebody, because Akademiks said he actually saw the document, right? Mm-hmm. The document was part of discovery,
Mhm.
and it was the DNA test that the prosecution's team had sent out to be tested, DNA retrieved from the gun, and compared to Tory Lane's DNA. Akademiks says he saw the document, and he probably just assumed that, okay, this is fixing to be a bombshell in court, and I'm fixing to break the story, right? So what his tweet said was, breaking news, just revealed in court that the test, blah, 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 shows no DNA match for Tory Lanez. So it was the indication or the implication of that particular tweet that MEG took to be, oh, this motherfucker's trying to say I'm lying. But he never said that she was lying. Actually, he did a whole fucking hour and a half about just that point. Yeah. And what his position was he felt like, you know, as a vlogger, he was just breaking news about something public. He was just trying to be the first one to have it. Because as it turned out, the chick from the Rolling Stone magazine, who thought she was going to be having a scoop on everything, she was reporting just as false information. Her information was more false than his. His information was more an assumption of what was going to happen in court, and what actually did happen in court was a version of that. But it wasn't that. It was, yeah, this ain't Tory's DNA. Boom, slammed on the court, case closed. It wasn't that kind of shit. What it was that the DNA shows from the prosecution's report says that the DNA was inconclusive when compared to Tory Lanez's DNA. However, I've been a nigga that's been in court. I know legalese. What that really means, right, is that from the prosecution's angle, it didn't match, right? And the way that they put it in the report is by saying that there was no conclusive match, right? So what Tory Lanez's attorney was asking for was a continuance so that they can do their own DNA test to show conclusively that it's not his DNA, which is kind of the same thing, right?
Right.
Right.
Just
they just want to defend it.
Right. It's just one hearing away type of shit, right? But from Akademiks' perspective, I got the inside scoop. Shit, I'm fixing to bust this shit out before CNN or TMZ does, right? And he just worded it wrong. He took that down and then worded it correctly, right? Actually, what happened, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. The chick, Nancy Dillon from Rolling Stone magazine, she had made a post directly contradicting Ak. Like, it was, her post said, according to two court sources, there is no report that states Tory Lanez's DNA was not found. That is a total fabrication, in quotes. And then went on to say, any reports about blah, 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 blah are only done for some bullshit, right? So basically, she was pointing the finger at Akademiks for MEG as a proxy to say, okay, this nigga is lying. But he really wasn't, right? In the process, MEG jumped in and said what she said, right? Akademiks, why you lying? Called the nigga out by name, said he was lying. Court ain't even started yet. Y'all reporting shit. I know y'all on the payroll. You vloggers be trying to do this just to tear down a black woman's character. Why would you do this? And Ak is like, damn, you really taking my reporting kind of personally. And then, you know, he took down his post, put up another one, and Tory Lanez jumped on and said, after her tweet, he tweeted, yeah, you can't tweet or pay your way out of this one. Right. That's all he said. So he didn't violate the gag order or nothing. You feel what I'm saying? Akademiks don't have no gag order. He's part of the media. The only person that got a gag order is Tory. He's the only motherfucker that can't talk about this shit. Lawyers ain't gonna talk about it no way.
Right.
You feel what? So what is the gag order for real? It's Tory, shut the fuck up, because we don't want you to let the people, the public, know what any other narrative other than the narrative that's being put out there. And when in the fuck is a nigga ever charged with a crime and the prosecution tell you can't talk about this?
Right.
Like your lawyer will tell you, look, dude, don't do no press conferences. Don't say anything that you say can and will be held against you in the court of law. That's what your lawyer is going to tell you about voluntary statement. But the prosecution can't stop you from talking about these motherfuckers is railroading me. Like we seen OJ talking that shit from the jailhouse. This nigga did a whole interview.
That don't mean it was
Who
right.
orchestrated the gag order? Who orchestrated that? Like we know the machine that's behind MEG. Let's not act like we don't.
Mm-hmm.
Who orchestrated that?
Right.
Who orchestrated this whole? Remember after the shit, after Act, well, you guys might not know. After Act went off on MEG for 3 days in a row, then you had Tasha K come out, do an interview with some chick talking about Akademiks tried to give her drugs and he didn't have enough money to pay for the room and some other shit. And then did another interview with another chick talking about she had a threesome with him. And so now it's all the cancel Akademiks shit, right?
Right.
Where's all that shit coming from?
I didn't even know that one.
I'm just asking.
That's crazy.
I mean, these are just
But
things that make you say,
But like you were saying,
yeah.
he ain't Tasha K. That's why he shot that shot. Like, I ain't Tasha K. I could take the hit. You know what I'm saying?
He really killed
he said that though.
he killed her and Tasha K.
And Tasha
He's
K,
still
right?
Killing Tasha K.
That's
right
what
now.
I'm saying. And if she keep talking that shit, he gonna have that bitch and them other bitches in court, nigga, and drain that bitch, knock her right off. Her whole credibility shot, nigga.
This nigga Akademiks is a fucking nerd, and he tells you, I'm not a street dude, and I ain't gonna put it out there, man, if I can't back it with receipts. Like, dude, I do the research. And he ain't been wrong yet. This dude has been taking down like some of the bigger name of it. It just happened to be MEG, and she just happened to be a woman this time. And that's what the narrative becomes. Oh, well, why would you be going so hard on a woman? You guys ain't heard how this nigga get at Freddie Gibbs, Meek Mills.
But not only that though, even trying to use that card is ridiculous to me, because if you in the wrong, then you in the wrong, bitch. You can't
Adam 22, that nigga had a whole long back and forth with Adam 22. He violated Adam and his wife. Like, yeah, y'all doing porn. You letting your wife get took down by the BBC. And Rosenberg from Hot 97. He's son Rosenberg. Sunday. So it ain't just
Right.
Yeah, it ain't just
but that's what I'm saying. They gonna fuck around.
She just happened to be the one that stepped in them crosshairs, and she should have just left that shit. Like, you Meg the Stallion, if you so big, why the fuck do you care what a vlogger says about what's going on in court? Why? This was the question that Akademiks asked. He said, why do you seem to be so invested in all of us believing you? Let the courts do what the fuck they gonna do. Like, are you afraid that the courts is gonna find this nigga not guilty, and then you still got to carry that narrative that this nigga shot you? So you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Why do you give a fuck about what somebody says?
You need to be focused on your rap career, man.
He was on her head. You got the sympathy award. You got 3 fucking sympathy awards. You ain't dropped a motherfucking thing. Best rapper, best rap. That nigga was on one.
Right.
3 days
because, like you said,
and then came back and apologized.
He come with the receipts.
You don't get the.
Might have went too hard, but I'm letting you know.
No,
I'll violate anybody.
You already know.
On
principle, I wouldn't be talking to that motherfucker ever again in life. And let me tell you one thing. 2 things you can fucking get on.
If you want to come on the podcast,
I want my steak more medium rare.
Invited her on the podcast, and nigga said, "Hey, I know you kind of hot at me. If you want to come on the podcast and talk your shit, I'd love to have you." Was like, this nigga here got nuts.
If I'm giving it to you with receipts, my nigga, I'm not apologizing for shit. That's first and foremost, nigga. I would have came back and apologized for shit. And every time
I'm supposed to.
And every time I hop on my shit, if it's a problem, I'll be like, yeah, I still stand by that shit. Fuck all that. You know
okay, so let me be controversial right here and be anti-woman, whatever the fuck they're gonna call me. So we're just gonna call it inconclusive. We don't know if it was his DNA on the gun. We know it's no DNA of his on the magazine that came up in the test, right?
Okay.
So we know the nigga didn't load the gun.
Right.
No GSR on his hands immediately after the incidents, right? Nigga had no gunshot residue at all, right? Um, Megan Thee Stallion, her final statement to the police was she had her back turned, heard nigga say, dance, bitch, dance, and then bullets hit her feet. So she actually didn't see with her own eyes who shot her. Um, why we still going with the narrative that this nigga shot this girl?
Because she's trying to scrap and scrounge for a
GSR,
career.
GSR on the friend's clothes. The girlfriend who she was arguing with about fucking Tory. Megan Thee Stallion still will not acknowledge that that's what the argument was about. She actually made a tweet. I got the text. We'll put up a text of this nigga saying, "Oh, I'm sorry. The shit I didn't mean for shit to turn out this way. I swear. We'll whoop this, that, and the third." She's like, "Nigga, if you didn't shoot me, what you apologizing for?" This nigga immediately tweeted back, "Good dick had me fucking two best friends. That's what I was apologizing for."
Hmm.
And
Right.
then her tweet in response was, "Nigga, why is you trying to keep pushing this narrative like you was fucking me and my friend when you know that's not true?" Hey, hold up. I thought we kind of accepted that that was true.
Right.
Or maybe I got it fucked up. In any event, I'm on the jury right now, and I'm hearing just what I've heard so far. Right? I can't send this nigga to jail. It's too much reasonable doubt. It's more than reasonable doubt. I'm gonna be looking at. I believe somebody else in the car shot. Who else was in the car? I know who else was in the car. I know who was probably driving. I'm gonna assume they wasn't shooting. I'm gonna know that the other motherfucker had GSR on their clothes. I'm gonna know they not charged for whatever fucking reason, nor are they saying anything, nor are they called as a motherfucking witness by the prosecution. It's a big, heavy fucking machine working behind the scenes. I don't know if y'all can see this shit or not, or maybe I'm just a big conspiracy theorist in Piranha Pond. But if I'm on the jury, the nigga is out making music.
Just based on the evidence you spit before you went on the whole situation, like nigga, you ain't find nothing physically attaching this man, forensically physically attaching this man to that gun. All you can say is he was in a car and heard that nigga say, "Dance, bitch, dance." That's all you can do. That's
Well,
it.
I'll be
Okay,
interested
so
to see what the outcome of it gonna be.
right, so we don't know, but
You don't
you know,
know.
it's
I'm not
always
even
good
gonna
to
claim
here.
it. It's too many
Here.
variables in that situation.
So here, let me ask this then. You know, we all know that we don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
For purposes of conversation, assuming that not only does he get acquitted, but it comes out also in court. I'm giving you guys a whole lot of latitude here because it should just be acquitted. But it also comes out in court that the homegirl shot her. Right. Now, boom. We just know this to be a fact. What happens to Meg Thee Stallion with the whole protect black women, believe black women scenario? What do we do with her?
I, personally, I think the conversation will change more towards the, oh yeah, she tried to protect her home girl. She tried to take that hit for her. Yada 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 yada. Blocka blocka blocka. Right, right. Now, in terms of your question, uh, I'm a whole cry wolf kind of dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, or a whole, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. It's not even gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So, I, once you prove in court that that's the type of person you are, I think she'll get more backing from women just on the base that, on some Lil Kim taking the rent for her people, and you know what I'm saying, for her homeboy and shit. She probably get that same feedback for taking rent for her homegirl, even though her homegirl shot her. You know what I'm saying? So I think that'd be more the conversation.
I don't
I
see Meg
I
taking
don't
the hit.
see. I don't see. I don't. Well, she ain't really doing much, so
I
I
don't
don't
think
see.
I don't see her taking a hit because she's went on record to say that she didn't see.
Man,
So again, yes, they have everybody in that motherfucker is a potential, but again, she didn't see, she didn't see. Even though he said what she said, he said what he said, and then shots were fired. Again, if you could be a fly on that wall and see what really happened and what it was, then it is what it is. It sounds like nobody was in the position in the car to tell her the truth.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
on
but
top of that, she panicked and she didn't got fucking shot twice.
in the fact of the point being, like, say, all that was
So
wrung
who
out,
ran
all
to them
that.
when they get shot twice?
No, all that being wrung out, right? And we, like you said, he was acquitted, and now it's all about the protect black women thing. And in that fact, I think that,
I
I
just
mean, you
still
can
don't see
only,
Meg taking
I
a
don't
hit.
know.
If anything, she gonna fall guilty of maybe not just when you didn't want to believe it when people told it to you, and then she might have ride that. Well, I didn't want to believe that she really had did that to me. Maybe as a black woman to a woman, or maybe just woman period. Then maybe she could ride that. But I don't still as somebody that's not even like again, it's taking too long to do this fucking trial and to put this behind us. Like most people, I want to see this shit just put behind me. I really don't give a fuck how it play out at this point. If he didn't do it, then fine, not guilty. That just means a whole mother, a whole, a whole lot of more people won't fucking hate him, and they'll probably continue to buy his music. Nobody really stopped buying his music. Nobody really stopped buying hers too. They didn't did some of their best work, best
I think
fucking work,
I think a lot
while
of people start
under the
fucking with Meg.
scrutiny of this umbrella of this trial. But I don't see any of. If anything, I see America. America. I see people in the community just want to be like, okay, so we finally done with it. Okay, so it was the hoe that did it. So what y'all gonna do to her? Because we just tired of hearing about it. Can we just go back to getting good albums? Can we just go back to getting rap music? Maybe
Yeah,
can y'all just do a duo about it together, just saying that, hey, this is what it was, and this is what it is, and this is what we are now. I think that's what everybody gonna want, just a good duo out of it.
I think that'll be some bullshit holding up that man time. He having that nigga go through all this bullshit on some. Oh my
Yeah, but it
bad.
didn't hold up
Fuck
his
all that.
career.
Fuck all that. But yeah, it did. This man can't freely
Nah, it
record,
didn't
say what
hold
he
up
want
his
to say.
career.
He can't, some motherfuckers are scared to fuck with him because they don't know if he'll end up in jail or not. Like, that shit do fuck up your career, man. That
I
shit
don't think
fucks up
it's.
a lot of shit.
I
That
don't.
shit
I
put a
don't
whole
think.
lot of
I
shit
don't
on
think.
pause.
I don't think it fucked up his career. But that's just
Fucking with
my point of
me,
view. I don't want to
fucking
go
with
on this
me,
all night. But again,
it
I
would
don't
be,
see her taking a hit. And if anything, I just see, people just coming at women like, well, sometimes you gotta just be. Sometimes you gotta just know when not be so naive. Maybe if you would just believe that she could get it in the first place, probably wouldn't have been here now. But I don't. But I don't
again,
see it going any further than that, really.
again,
'Cause
fucking
nobody
with
really
the
care about
nun.
it anymore.
Fucking with the nun and my petty ass, she would have to brace herself for this defamation of character suit, nigga. So it ain't gonna be over. And all you motherfuckers that's wishing it will be over, strap up, nigga. Cause we in court, bitch. Especially if all my shit come out right, nigga. I'm coming for you.
But
For
then if
you,
it is,
bitch.
but I need you to recant them same fucking words that is proving that he did, and then he's the one lying and trying to blame it on no girl. I
That'd be
need you to
great.
say that.
Wrong is wrong. Again, I'm
All
not
right,
tripping that part. But again,
cool.
if it came out that he was acquitted, man, yeah, defamation suit soon following. Stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? After these
Gotcha,
messages. You know what I'm saying?
gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would be so, and I'm petty as fuck too. I would be so pissed off knowing that it would so exceed her. It would so go past her, right? But it would start with her, right? I would do the same thing that was done to me. I would use her to get to the motherfuckers that push them buttons, and I would fuck up a whole lot of shit. And somebody gonna break me off something. Motherfucker look up and I'm running some shit that you never would have thought of. 250 million behind. It'd be some shit going on. Yeah. Y'all
Right.
gonna let me in the door of this Illuminati. Something gonna happen around
Whatever's
this
gonna happen,
motherfucker,
go happen.
right?
Cause bitch, somebody got to
Yeah,
pay me.
something gonna happen. Somebody
Shit.
gonna have to pay me something, man.
Somebody gonna have to
We
right.
just not just we ain't just rolling with this. Like you just use me to boost up an act. You know what I'm saying? For the fucking dollars, like it was a lot of fucking money that was generated with the whole Meg the Stallion machine.
And then would it be on
You know what
some
I'm
my
saying?
bad type of shit?
No, 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 no. Fuck no, no.
Nigga. No, nigga. Yeah, you're bad, indeed, nigga.
and the shit didn't work,
Right, indeed.
and
Like I
it
said,
didn't
yeah.
work. Oh
Yo
my
bad.
god,
Yo bad.
I'm on 1, 2, and 3 for the next 15 years.
Fuck with the wrong. Right. You don't fuck with the wrong. Show up intently and faithfully, nigga. Like, oh, that bitch just show up again. Run it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm doing all the law work myself. I don't even fucking do rap no more. I just do music.
Yeah, focusing on destroying your ass.
That's it. Nigga. In this motherfucking law library with more experience than a fucking 5-year attorney.
And turn that shit into a podcast, nigga, so they can pay me destroy in your ass.
On their ass. Revealing everything. Be right
Yes,
in this
sir.
motherfucking this one box. Showing documents.
Yes,
Look,
sir.
this is the
Nigga.
whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop.
Yes, sir.
About to hit him with this right now. Be
Yes,
explaining
sir.
shit. See, what happened was
Yes, sir.
when
This-
MEG had came out and said whoop-de-whoop, what it really was blah, blah, blah was behind her because they had the whoop-de-whoop going on. Y'all didn't know that, did you? I'd be on my whole choke, no joke shit.
and then hit him with the, you know they done fucked up, don't you?
Look, that nigga choke, no joke got 100,000. This nigga got like 80,000 subscribers right now on some fuck Jay-Z and Dame Dash and Rockefeller. They was on some dirty shit back in the fucking early days shit. And with the films, with the videos, right?
With the receipts, yeah.
With the
Yeah.
receipts.
Yeah. That's me,
He
nigga.
was
And
a
wouldn't be no
cameraman.
apologies after that. And there wouldn't be no apologies after that. Like I said, nigga, I said it, I meant it, that's what it is. Fuck all that. I mean, it is what it is.
That nigga was harassing Jay-Z all the way up to 80,000 subscribers or some shit. Now
Especially
he
if I got
stopped
the
making
receipts.
videos about it. Now he making Tasha K videos. That nigga was one of two motherfuckers that was in the courtroom for the whole Tasha K Cardi B shit.
Because they pay. Jay-Z and them paid his ass to shut the fuck up. Go on about your business, man. Go on, man. Go on, man. For real.
Shit
For
down.
real, bro.
Gave that nigga bag.
For real, bro.
Gave
Just
the
go
nigga
on.
bag.
Just go on, bro.
Jay was like, dude, I'm trying to make NFL moves.
Right,
and
just
talking
go on,
about
bro.
Some shit that happened in
Just go on.
motherfucking building, this Rockefeller building, man, this Def Jam building. Come on, bro.
Just go on, bro.
What you want?
I mean,
What you want, Choke?
Right. Just go on, man.
Choke, what you want, man?
Do your thing, bro. Just go on. Stop that shit, but go on. Nigga, stop all that
That nigga
bullshit.
choke like
but go on.
nigga choke like 54. That nigga making rap videos. I'm like,
That
Choke,
nigga-
what you doing, bro?
Funding his wildest dreams. That's what Choke doing, because he got that bag, nigga. Choke doing whatever the fuck he want to do. Thanks, Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, yeah, that's what that nigga doing.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, right. Yeah, right.
Man, I miss Nick Nass, man.
Right, that's crazy. My nigga need to get Wi-Fi stable and jump in his phone, man.
Yeah.
The synergy is just off, but we still on our shit though. I love it.
Right.
That nigga gonna hit
Fuck all
y'all
that.
about 3:30 in the
Yeah.
morning and shit. That nigga gonna be sending y'all videos and shit. Sending y'all YouTube videos and shit talking about I can't believe what that Cardi B got $3.8 million from a vlogger. Be like, nigga, we had a whole podcast about that
Right.
shit.
We talked about the whole fucking show, right?
Oh, bro, just right quick,
My nigga.
right quick before motherfuckers tap off. The disrespect of the shit that I showed you earlier on the Willie D shit with the disrespect on the rap. That is the nigga. You can't tell me that nigga ain't got a cousin, an uncle, a big homie, or something that be like, hold on, my nigga, that's a little bit much, bro. Just this much. Just don't do that. You gotta respect the people that ain't got nothing to do with this, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas
Oh,
don't
that was
consult with nobody.
horrible. That was just the craziest disrespectful shit I've seen in a
Not
long time.
consult with nobody.
Yeah, but niggas got man, they gotta answer somebody about some shit like that, and it shouldn't have to be the enemies, nigga, because that was crazy. Crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we have gotten to the end, hour and 29, of another good one.
You know what I'm saying?
Always
We
great to
back
be
in
in the
this
pond.
bitch.
The water is nice and warm and clear. We chomping.
Man, we on our
It's in
shit.
this
Dig
pond.
it in.
You feel me?
We on our shit.
Shout out to my boy Nick Nass. I'm sure he'll be with us on our next one. And shout out to everybody in the comments, everybody that joined us live today on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter live. What else? Oh, I know we've been hitting and missing. We're kind of trying to find a little time. We are in different directions, working different jobs, and so 5 o'clock it's been not kind of working out for us. As you can see, Nick Nass uh, is otherwise engaged. So we're gonna be trying to get together, man, to keep bringing you guys great content. Look for us in this time slot, doing something or another. If it's all of us, one of us, two of us, three of us, whatever.
Because we got to give y'all something. We got to
We got to
keep
keep
y'all
y'all,
fed, man.
yeah, we got to
keep y'all
keep y'all
power in
up
the
on
people.
what's going on.
Yeah,
Keep
y'all
talking about
in the
these hot
people, man.
topics.
Got to keep
power
that
in
power
the
up.
people.
Got to keep that power
Well,
up.
you guys know what it is. If you joined us on the Facebook or the Twitter side of the game, jump over to the YouTube side of the game and give us a sub over there. Always makes a difference. If you catch us on the replay on either of those platforms, leave us a comment. Shows up in real time. We always like that. Shout out to the audience. Shout out to the comment section. And shout out to my piranhas. Once again, we are, and we always will be.
It's been a minute, nigga. It's been a minute.
Don't take the bloopers, y'all. Y'all get them all.
Where's Nick when you need him, goddammit? You know what I'm saying?
We've been closed this out
Yeah,
already.
nigga, been closed this out already.
We live in 4 different locations.
In any event,
Yeah,
we always will be live at 5/7 Central from the Piranha Pond. And now we are